To this now, the most senior leadership of the ANC, the biggest and leading party in the government of national unity, is satisfied that Team South Africa has put together a compelling proposition to the United States of America. President Cyril Ramaphosa and the rest of the ANC's National Executive Committee are meeting in Ekurhuleni in Gauteng, a day after tariffs imposed by the Trump administration to South Africa and many other countries started to kick in. Newzroom Afrika's politics and economics editor, Vuyo Mvoko, joins us in studio for more. A very good afternoon to you. I guess at the top of that agenda must, of course, have been Trump's tariffs.
It was, from what we were told, but the interesting thing here is that this was a report from the Economic Transformation Committee, which is a subcommittee of the ANC that deals with the economy, that deals with employment, that deals with trade, industry, black economic empowerment. All those things fall within the ambit of that committee. It had to take questions for them to get to the issue of tariffs, you know, or even the issues of the Reserve Bank's monetary policy committee. Now, you then wonder whether the ANC is still sort of stuck in how they do things. They have always done things. Because you had to say, hang on a minute, you have an all-embracing statement that is really doesn't give us a sense of what it is that you really focused on, given where we are. We know for a fact that the issue of inflation targeting is a big issue. You would have seen the statement of the Minister of Finance, not taking kindly to remarks attributed to the central bank governor. That would have, or ought to have been, a big issue that they put out there. The issue of the tariffs, obviously, given its impact on the economy, certain industries, your agriculture, your motor industry, given overall the impact it's going to have on the economy. But that came, as I say, by way of questions that we posed and then answers to those questions, which then makes you treat whatever was said with a pinch of salt, you know, because you would have thought in a week, certainly this past week, you saw industry players saying, come on, guys, you know, where are we? The deadline is about to, you know, do we know? I mean, we don't know who's doing what and how far we have gone. We're worried about jobs. We're worried about the impact these tariffs are going to have on our businesses. But be that as it may, the person who was doing the report, which is Dr. Ramaphosa, says, no, actually, there was a very focused discussion on this. And from that discussion, they are satisfied, as you were saying in your intro, that Team South Africa has put up good proposals before the Americans, but all that they're waiting for now are responses to the proposals that have been put on the table. But that said, they have also urged the government to look at other markets, which obviously is going to take time. It's going to take a lot of lobbying, resources, and all of that. But they say that's the direction they believe this government should take, while at the same time ensuring that all is not lost when it comes to our relationship with the Americans.
Considering what you're saying as well about having the questions posed as opposed to a more proactive approach, considering our climate as well, and also the talk of still considering other markets, would you say we're not at a point of now planning to consider to talk to other markets? We've known about these looming tariffs for months now already. Would you not expect out of this NEC meeting more of a tangible outcomes, you know, because they have given proposals before to Washington that have been rejected. So what keeps this confidence going?
But this is exactly, Masa, what we've been asking over the past few days, weeks, and months. We had 3 months. Remember, when these were announced, they were then, there was suspended for like 3 months, allowing parties to engage. There hasn't been a particularly convincing moment in the past 3 months where, even if you go back to the Trump-Ramaphosa meeting, there was a briefing after that. And at that briefing, no one got a sense that it was Minister Parkstyle saying, we started having conversations, we started having conversations even before we got here. There were people who were working on very specific areas, you know, of the economy. And that week, ahead of the meeting between the two presidents, he even said that the Minister of Agriculture and him were meeting various people. And then the tariffs were announced. And then there was the 90-day period within which everyone was supposed to come forward. Some people did, by the way, and secured themselves deals, right? So I'm saying at no point over the past 4 months or so have we had an opportunity where the government takes, whether it's journalists or the country, whoever they deem like have needed to assure, where people got a sense or someone sat down and said, this is how far we have gone, this is what is still missing. We understand that certain things can't really be, you know, announced, but to have business councils, you know, to have had unions, you know, to have had business chambers this week saying, we're still in the dark. We don't know what we're going to happen. So we don't know what to prepare for. But one hopes that what Dr. Cyril Ramaphosa said today, that which also convinced on his account, that NEC, that all is well, we shouldn't panic, something is coming. In fact, all what we're waiting for is America's responses to the proposals we've put before them. We hope that it is indeed so, and that whatever propositions have been tabled before the Americans will indeed take forward and find favor. Because they say it's not just about us going cap in hand, you know, to beg for our deliverance. It is solid proposals that are not only in our interest, but in the interests of the Americans as well. One hopes that that is indeed the case.
Hope indeed, and in the dark we remain. Thank you so much for also coming into studio and giving us a summary of what took place there.